with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous.
You want me to make you food?
Yeah, sure. Alright, last I left off, we ran into an angel that took us to Pelora's Fall. And upon talking to, and we're still actually talking to all the people there. They want me to go to Winter Sun to try to help out with what's going on. Like several of the people inside Pelora's Fall need the guidance of an angel. I believe I spoke to everyone so far. Except for the Hand of the Inheritor and one of the leaders. Let's see here. I guess we'll start with the Hand of the Inheritor. Alright. Champion, how can I help you? Remind me what my mission here is and what are we waiting for? We came here to seek counsel. Pelora's stargazers can help us find the missing angel, Targona. While Eliandra makes preparations for the scrying ritual, she has asked you to find out more about the worries and doubts of those who live here, and to provide assistance to anyone who needs your help. Right? The inhabitants of the temple keep its existence a secret. How did you find out about it? Pelora herself told me about this temple, and about the mission of its inhabitants. The mistress of the Aurora Iobara, and I may differ in character and appearance, but we are both angels and protectors of good. We help one another, especially when the matter involves demons, our foe of old. Let's see. What can you tell me about Eliandra?
Hello, everyone. Now their jokester showed up.
Yes. Welcome. Alright. See, what can you tell me about Eliandra? She is the ideal priestess, a selfless servant of the goddess of her people. Eliandra discovered her gift when she was only 13, and ever since then she has healed, guided, and protected the inhabitants of Sarkoris. I have met very few mortals who are capable of such abnegation. She has never married or had a family, but has devoted herself entirely to service. In return, the Shimmering Maiden has rewarded Eliandra for her sacrifice. She has always been the strongest of Pelora's priestesses. What can you tell me about Kater? He is a warrior, and the strength of his spirit is unmatched. He has devoted his entire life to the cause. His resilience and dedication have helped to protect and preserve the people throughout the madness of these past 100 years. However, he does not simply defend the temple from its enemies. He also provides the community with the leadership it needs. Eliandra inspires and heals, but that on its own is not enough to keep the temple functioning over such a long period. Can you take me back to Dresden? As you wish, but remember, we must return so that Eliandra can conduct the ritual. and that's all we needed. Now we can go back to go to Winter Sun and deal with all the quests that we were put on.
A rest would be welcome.
Alright, let's see. Hand of the Inheritor is over here, which I have no particular main issues with. Captain Odin. Captain Odin gives you a polite nod. What can I do for you, Commander? Captain, what's your role in my army? I'm responsible for drills, organizing exercises, and briefing the officers on the strategies you approve. Furthermore, I have the honor of serving as the chair of your military council. Remind me about the responsibilities of the military council? The military council determines the strategy for our troops, enacts army reforms, approves new equipment standards, and makes decisions on all issues regarding military action on the front lines. Hello, how was the game? What happened? Alright. Hey, Trosius. First off, and then, how was the game? It was actually pretty good. Although it was not entirely uneventful, just no combat. What happened was everyone had, after they managed to defeat the bad guy, and they went back to the city that was asking for their aid, and for the next course of about 3 to 4 days, they went out of their way to undo all the damage the bad guy did and help the townsfolk. They did the hero cleanup that most heroes don't usually do, where they actually stuck around to make sure all the damage was properly undone. Healed up the injured and so on.
I think part of it is because my character was poisoned and she exactly didn't want to risk going anywhere while in that condition. And then she had a vision to tell her to help clean up and fix what was wrong. And then she, after her being turned into an animal, she was too afraid to risk more. She didn't try to help.
Okay. But yeah, aside from that, the players found out where the big bat was running off to, and they were planning to set out to deal with that. But then they found out there was still another monster inside near the town that needed to be dealt with before the townsfolk could be truly safe. So now they're gearing up to go hunt down a dragon. And, good luck to them if they manage to pull it off. Like, it would be a very, very, very difficult and dangerous undertaking. But they're all psyched for not next week. Next week is going to be Thanksgiving, so no game next week. but the week after, they're psyched for the dragon hunt. That was it for my game yesterday. Oh, the player that joined the week before had dropped this week.
I do
Which...
want advice.
Hmm?
Yes, I do want advice. Remember on suggestions on what to name it?
Advice?
This couple.
Oh, okay.
See if we can get suggestions. Nothing wrong with asking.
Sure. Atrocious, can we ask you for advice on something? We'll wait to see if he responds, see if he's actually listening.
Okay.
Right. You've had encounters with Karam Zadar before, haven't you? Only in the halls of my mind. Back when I was a young lieutenant dreaming of the title of Crusade Commander. And who among us hasn't dreamed of being in your shoes, Commander? At least for a little while. Oh. So does that mean you're gonna stream next week? Possibly, yes. Oh, what was your question? Dragoon Lady had a question for you, Atrocious.
Wait, about your stream next week. You're, but you're not doing it as late, right?
No, I'm not gonna do it as late. It'll be earlier in the day.
Okay, cool. So me and Zero or Dragoon, we started our own little RP. What? What's it?
You may ask me for advice, yes. What kind, though?
What kind though? It's just advice on what to name a stream. So, me and Dragoons started making a RPG together. Well, we're considering like doing RPG together, but like in a different gameplay through. And we were trying to figure out what to name it, like since there'll be like a couple RPG in a way.
Let me rephrase. We're gonna play Pathfinder Kingmaker, and she wants to sit in with and govern most of the decisions while I handle the gameplay combat. She wants to stream it, but I have no idea what the title is, neither does she. Do you have any suggestions? We're not making an RPG.
Oh. See, you're the one who should have asked. I'm not good with all this stuff.
Okay. Alright, let's see. I knew I would one day meet him on the battlefield. I'm sure there are more powerful demons in the world room, but in this war, where entire armies fight for victory rather than individual warriors, he is Mendev's greatest enemy. I'd studied countless reports on battles against him, played out countless of his historic battles in my head, trying to spot his mistakes. I did spot a few, or so I hoped. But I never had the chance to put it to the test. I moved up in rank, knowing that the day we would come face to face was drawing ever closer. The most important day of my life. I could feel that it was very close. Alright. Tell me about your military career. My family has lived in Mendev for generations, simple but prosperous folk. Even as a child, I was interested in the study of warfare, and I always knew I'd end up joining the ranks of professional soldiers. After serving for 3 years as a cadet in the capital, I went to Lastwall, where I graduated from the Crusader War College with honors. Then I returned to Mendev. Oh, huh. So you both are gonna play Kingmaker, and you need a name for what? The campaign? The barony? The stream.
The stream. What's it
Although,
called?
to be perfectly honest, well, I guess asking for the campaign would be that. Yeah, well, but the
Cocktail's journey.
Right. What are we calling? What are we titling the stream? And maybe we'll bug with the barony later, but that's if you get that. That's if we get that far. All right, continue. For 25 years, I fought many battles as part of various border units. As a result of my service, I was distinguished by command with a promotion to the rank of captain, and a subsequent transfer to headquarters. Captain Odon falters, and his expression darkens. He remains silent for a while, then shakes his head and continues. Now that I didn't have to do drills, I had the time to focus on studying tactics and strategy. My fellow officers called my desk the archive because it was always covered with manuscripts and military treaties. Alas, I never did become a commander, even though it was my childhood dream, but I was able to become a competent enough officer to be serving directly under your authority. I hope you'll find my knowledge useful. I get the feeling you've had your share of pain on the front lines. Oh, Title of the stream. That's kind of hard for me. Let me think about it for a bit. Take all the time you need, Atrocious.
Yeah, it's not like Luke
we
plan on starting it tonight.
Yeah, we came up with nothing, so.
I tried to listen to some stuff, but you're like, that's too coupley.
Or it was too. Alright, whatever. Oh, hold on. So you know, Atrocious, it will involve a cleric of Urgafoa. You can. That will be the character.
I want to play evil character.
So, work with that. I get the feeling you've had your share of pain on the front lines. Captain Odon presses his lips together. No more than the soldiers from my squad. My last battle was at Villaref Ford's outpost, north of Canabras. The demons, they brought flames down upon us. I'd never seen anything like it. Walls of fire spewing out fireballs. 300 soldiers turned into screaming, burning meat. And believe it or not, in the light of that cursed flame, the battlefield was dark as a cave. The smoke was so thick you couldn't see any further away than your own hands.
Perfect timing.
We held that day, but the price was high. I paid mine as well. It took a miracle for the clerics to pull me out of my melted armor. And it took me 4 years before I could remain calm near fire. Any fire, even candlelight. I thought they'd write me off as psychologically broken, but instead I was promoted. Apparently, in that inferno, we managed to deflect a terrible blow and protect Canabras from the attack of a superior force. Apparently, we were heroes, as unyielding as rock. I didn't know that at the time. We were just fighting, burning, and fighting.
Do you want me to put season on your phone?
Sure. I have to go. I'm always at your service, Commander. Alright, let's see if I can leave her. Barracks. Yeah, we'll go to the barracks. Talk to Captain Harmattan. Well, then that makes it easier. Vampire the Stolen Lands. Sure, why not? That'll be the title.
What?
Vampire the Stolen Lands.
Vampire the Stolen Lands? When did I agree? Shouldn't we both agree on?
We agreed that we can't come up with anything.
I came up with stuff. You're like, that's a couple. I went to call a couple journey. You're like, no.
There's only one.
Huh?
There's only one Baron. There's only one main character. That's why I kept arguing with that. Alright. You keep acting like I didn't say this already, like several times.
Yeah, no, you said that we didn't come up with anything. I came up with stuff. You just didn't agree with it.
Some of them were stuff even I came up with. But didn't agree it sounded good for a stream. Alright, anyway. Captain Selkine. Selkine is the captain of the Blackstone Company, elite mercenaries from Andorran. Queen Galfrey paid the company to fight in the crusade under your command. Selkine bows respectfully and says amiably, I was hoping you would honor me with a visit. I know you're extremely busy, but I've been eager to meet the person who managed to restore Valerian control over a part of Sarkorian lands for the first time in decades. This is incredibly symbolic. Remind me, who are you again? I'm Captain Selkine, the commanding officer of a mercenary band called the Blackstone Company. We're the vanguard of an Andorran group of sellswords, whose services were paid for by Queen Galfrey. Our advanced forces were sent to Dresden, and I am happy that I was chosen to lead them. Tell me about your mercenary company. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Andorran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No, we're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Actually, that depends on your DM. You could either be working for the future king or one of you gets coronated. Heck, if you're evil, you could even be working for Iravetti. Oh yeah, I forgot about Iravetti. Oh wait, that's right. Sorry. She is going through the game blind though, so try to avoid too much on spoilers. All right.
I only played like maybe 10 minutes of it.
She played about 2 hours of it. Already out of Jamandi Aldori's mansion, and made it to Oleg's trading post. Alright, anyway. Let's see. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorrans are a free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. It would be undeafen the city, rather. Undeafen the city? I don't know if that can't work because we're never near a city. Like, the Vampire of the Stolen Lands works because it's like the whole region. Alright, you must have stories to tell. Let's put it this way. If I father any children, I'll have something to tell them. I wasn't even 20 when I joined the Blackstone Company. I've seen my share of scuffles, but my goal in every conflict remains the same, to defend the common folk. Not all sellswords treat civilians well, you know, but my soldiers have never disgraced themselves with dishonorable conduct. Oh, not a custom campaign, an actual stream of the video game? Oh, wow. Had that entirely wrong. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what we were talking about. Oh, thank you. Nah, I'm good. Alright. Once I even joined an expedition that reached the crown of the world. I swear I've never neglected such crucial strategic necessities as supplying the troops with warm undergarments after that. Despite not always agreeing with my superiors in the company, I earned my reputation as a competent officer. I always relied on thought out I'm turning that off soon.
That wasn't my phone. Oh, wait.
I always relied on thought out logistics, exercised caution, and strictly followed tactical doctrine. You look like a soldier to the core. You must have been serving all your life. Selkine chuckles. Who knows what the future holds for me? In my spare time, I study history and applied anthropology. I'm just an amateur, of course, but sometimes I think I could be a decent lecturer, almost as good as I am as an adventurer. Why, I might even find a way to combine the two callings. I was completely smitten when I discovered Sarkorian culture. They were such an interesting people, just freedom-loving, tenacious. Or just freedom-loving, tenacious. Sure, their traditions were not entirely flawless, but nevertheless, their demise was a great loss for all of Avestan. In that case, forget what I said. Easy title, Me, Myself, and Death. Okay. Alright, sure, why not? We'll go with that then. Alright, I have some questions about your fascination with Sarkoris. Oh boy, that's a lot. I understand that few people are interested in this subject, even other anthropologists unjustly neglect it, but I intend to shed light on this chapter of history. If anything remains of Sarkoris, I will find it, no matter how small its shards may be. What fascinates you so much about Sarkoris? A sparkle of passion gleams in Selkine's eyes. They were an amazing people. We're used to treating Sarkoris like a barbaric northern land inhabited by brutish and primitive people who condemn magic and dance to the shaman's tune. But this is our snobbery speaking. In fact, life in Sarkoris was much more nuanced and sophisticated. Behind the false fronts we erected, there was hiding a nation of skilled craftsmen, wise stargazers, enlightened priests, and clear-thinking chieftains. I'm gonna be back in a few. You gotta do stuff. Alright, Atrocious. See you when you get back. And you let us know you're actually back. Right. They were anything but bloodthirsty and brutish. They managed to create a nation without shackling themselves with the bonds of monarchy or thrusting power into the hands of wealthy magnates. They were cultured, spiritual, curious, and they despised injustice. Sure, they had their flaws, but there are many nations in the world where power genuinely belongs to Are there many nations in the world where power genuinely belongs to the people? Over the last few years, I've seen acts of horror even in Andorn, not to mention in other countries. In Sarkoris, power was given to those who earned their authority. I feel that if it weren't for the World-Wound disaster, they would have given Avestan and the entirety of Galarian a distinct vision of the future, where everyone was free and equal. The fall of Sarkoris is a tragedy, and therefore we must expend every effort to collect the pieces of that picture. How do you plan to look for the remnants of Sarkorian culture? I am sending scout patrols to places where, if my assumptions are correct, there may be still Sarkorian refuges hidden in plain sight. I don't believe a whole country can perish without a trace. Among the locations, I'm interested in are Pelora's Fall, the mining town of Zazvel, to the west of here, the city of Undaran, Bloodwood Settlement, and many others. The captain's expression grows stern. Of course, some of the company commanders think I divert too many resources to such expeditions, but I couldn't care less. If there are any survivors, we will save them. Knowledge roll check pass. But plenty of refugees from Sarkoris found a home in other lands. Their culture lives on. Well, that's open to interpretation. Once Sarkorian refugees found themselves in foreign lands and surrounded by strangers, they inevitably began to adopt the culture of their hosts. Have you met Sarkorians from Numeria? By now they are more Numerian than not, and for that I blame the people in power. It was in their interest to erase the cultural identity of the arriving Sarkorians, to forge them into new subjects who had forgotten their homeland. Besides, Sarkoris was never a monolithic entity. It was an alliance of countless tribes, each carrying different cultural baggage, sometimes even contradicting one another. To piece together an understanding of the customs of Sarkoris as a whole, you can't rely only on the knowledge of the surviving tribes. Have you ever heard of a village called Wintersun? Actually, that's why I'm here. As soon as I learned you had discovered a settlement where the surviving Sarkorians still live, I volunteered to take command of the company vanguard. It's a fantastic, priceless anthropological discovery, and I hope the devastated lands of former Sarkoris still have little nooks like Wintersun. Right. You are correct. Some Sarkorians did escape. I visited one of their secret dwellings, but I cannot tell you where. I swore an oath of secrecy. The captain's eyes shine with excitement. He opens his mouth to let loose the first barrage of questions, but ultimately restrains himself. His expression betrays happiness and frustration in equal measure. At last he clears his throat and says, I understand. An oath is an oath. I have no more questions. Feel free to return with more if they appear. You can't tell me about Sarkorian culture. I studied their traditions, their customs, and their rulers. I know what they loved, and I know what they feared. Did they really persecute mystic practitioners in Sarkoris? It would be historically inaccurate to deny it or to excuse these acts. Yes, Sarkorian society was not perfect. They reacted to mystical power with fear and prejudice. But this particular conflict was deeply rooted in politics. In many countries, mystic practitioners hold vast power due to their special abilities. It's these people who often become oppressors. Oppressors, tyrants, and despots. Yes, the treatment of mystics in Sarkoris was cruel and unjust, but the people united and struggled against the minority that often encroached upon their interest in a very hostile manner.
That's one sitting right here.
I'll leave it alone. I'm repulsed by the idea of throwing innocent people into prisons, but I'm not naive. Those political realities can't simply be dismissed or ignored. They need to be understood and addressed, because these desperate actions also have a certain logic at their core. Tell me what you find the most exciting about Sarkorian history. Have you ever heard of God Callers? Oh. Oh, they are an amazing and fascinating cultural phenomenon. The Sarkorians were a highly spiritual people that revered not only the deities we know, but also a plethora of lesser entities. Tribe gods, clan gods, settlement gods, and sometimes even patrons of individual families. God callers could contact these beings and become their, how shall I translate it? Companions. They formed a very strong bond. In a way, gods were their spiritual siblings. Well, you can imagine just how different their society was from ours. Union with the divine was a more regular occurrence, and the higher powers intervened in the affairs of mortals more often. Who ruled Sarkoris? That's an interesting question. Many people compare Sarkoris to modern kingdoms, since they did have chieftains endowed with absolute power. Still, the nation did not have a single leader. The Council of Chiefs made their decisions together. In some places, the post of chieftain was hereditary, but as far as I know, not everywhere. Besides, their politics were influenced by god-callers and priests who relayed the wishes and expectations of higher powers to common folk. So chieftains could not ignore them. I would compare Sarkoris to modern Andorran rather than Mendev. It was a true nation, a people firmly aware of their unity and shared purpose. You've satisfied my curiosity. Thank you for the pleasure of this conversation. Let me know if you need help with your search. Actually, I could use some help. A group of my scouts has gone missing. Presumably they got lost. They're competent and reliable soldiers that I trained personally. Their orders were to carefully and stealthily retreat if they discovered anything dangerous. If you find my men, please give them directions to Dresden. I'd be extremely grateful. Please let me mark the area they are headed to on your map. I have to go. The captain nods politely. I see. Duty calls. And off we go.
Godspeed.
Oh, everyone's tired. Damn.
Nenio, do your notes contain any mention of demons who have changed?
I
I have come across no such evidence. But did you know that the promise of false redemption is number 17 in the list of most common ploys used by demons to trick gullible mortals?
I will see this through.
Alright.
Let us press on.
Yeah, we're good. Now, after long last, we go. To Winter Sun. If I don't get lost here.
Yet another obstacle.
Hey, why are you fatigued already? Okay, I don't think I'm actually going to win this by just auto-attacking.
This is not my time for this.
Please, help me!
Okay, we're going to have to try that again.
You won't fall here. I swear it. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Continue fighting, everyone.
Alright,
Someone, save me.
and I'm back. I can't bring myself to play anymore today. I'm having some difficulty in the game. I know what you mean. I'm stuck on this random encounter fight.
Susan?
Will defend my dream.
Alright. Let me see here. Let me try to target this thing first instead.
Surrender or else.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Paladins.
Just sit here.
Hold on, just a little
Wait
more.
a minute.
Continue fighting.
Oh boy. Alright. No. I'm gonna try this in turn-based combat. I'm pretty sure I can get a win out of here. I'm just like screwing this up. Alright. I realize that for a tank, my HP pool is painfully low and I can't increase the difficulty past casual anymore, or I get bonked. I have this creeping feeling that I'm doing something wrong, but I can't tell what it is. What's your build? Wow, these armor classes are ridiculous. Touch AC 16. All I can do is pawn off your ability to hit next.
I can still fight.
And heal. What's my best heal spell? Burst of Glory. Yeah. Okay, that tracks. On the horse. And select. Veil of Heaven. Next turn. This time we're going to do things different. Summon the spirits. Oh, here we go. I'm playing a Bone Spirit Hunter with full plate, no points in con, pretty much max int strength based. I'm going to treat this like he's a caster. What's your reflex? 20 and 19. Okay. And this hits for... What's your level? 10, so 10d6. Or I could use this. It's just a fireball. So fireball will hit for 10d6. Okay. I forgot to put the belt on there, didn't I? Yep. Alright. Let's see what I can do. Come on. Unfortunately, fortune ray is useless, so just attack and hope for a crit.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Let's see. You Ranger's Bond. I hope that helps. And just shoot him.
I will resist.
Okay. My evil on you. And then there ain't much else to do. Charge. cast another summon spell using the Ring of Summons, which summons Axiomites. And then, what do I do? This avoids allies, apparently, so throw out the fire snake. Okay. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, that's it.
Surrender or else!
You won't survive me.
Apparently they will. Just try.
Preparing herself.
Yep.
Right, take you.
Alright. Mendel. Just try to hurt him. Wow, those things are useless. Alright. Dribbelef is down. One more to go.
Endure this!
Looks like he's enduring just fine.
Desna, guide my hand.
Neat.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Right. Should use Smite Evil. Well, that was my mistake. Bolt of Justice. Oh, spell resist. Of course. What's this thing? Spell resistance looking like? $28, so I need an 11. That's not impossible.
Make every strike count.
You don't. You've been beaten. The real issue I have right now is I can't really beat them. My archers can't
Make
anyway.
your peace.
Usually seems to be able to hit a few times, but that's about it. Maybe I should lower my strength a little to increase my con, but won't me tank better. Having a good constitution is never bad.
To the fray! Hey!
Go for it. Okay. Win's a win.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes. I will lend you my aid.
Will Breath of Life get rid of the... No, it wouldn't. Why would it? Alright. Let's see. You said you lower your strength. What's your strength at right now? I'd say if your focus is strength, to be a strength build, then having it at least what's it called? A 16. Yeah, 16 would be bare bones. Like if that's your focus on the, if your build's focus is that. Oh well. It just sounds further ahead. No. Messed up.
All the paladins I've met before behave very piously. They abhorred frivolity of any kind. You're not like that at all. You're not afraid to be yourself.
The paladins you're talking about? They were easy to break, right? It's easy to break someone who's running from themselves.
Alright. Save. Let's go back to this army here. Let's go defend Dresden. Yeah, they weren't really gonna fight. Alright. And on we go. Hope all the fights around here aren't that tough. Let's see. Succubist. Are Ash Giants evil? Yep. They sure are.
Begone, fiend! You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Did you see that?
Whoa.
I will resist.
And down you go. Then
Too late for apologies.
The light. Take you!
Let's see. What should I hit you with? Cleansing flames.
Do not hold back.
Alright. Let's take this guy down.
You won't survive
Whoop.
me.
Prepare yourself.
And that's that. Alright, I'm gonna go out of turn-based combat now. I think the enemies I ran into that one time were just a fluke. Hmm? Huh. Hold on, everybody. I'm getting a call from work. Alright, so update. I got called into work. I have to be there at 6:30, everybody. The stream can end on time, on the usual time, but still. I really do need the hours though. So, and it's not really I'm not in a position to try to avoid it. Alright, let's see. Those we need. Let's see if leadership is available. Diplomacy is available. And logistics is available. Okay. Let's get this underway. First up, records of Pelora stargazers. The disconnected data on the world wound collected by the stargazers of Pelora will not be of any help if it is not studied in detail and properly organized. Issue decree. As far as the next one goes, we study the faultless daybreak. And then, is there any other missions that can be taken? Nope. Relics, the other. The runaway. Alright. It has been revealed that one of the Crusaders is a criminal on the run. 1 year ago, that knight murdered a noble in Nerosian and escaped justice. The killer repented and joined the Crusader army to atone for his sin. But the daughter of the murdered aristocrat wants vengeance and requests that the criminal be arrested and tried. I don't know. Oh, I'm losing faith in what I'm doing. Damn. What are you doing? Try the criminal knight. Take the repentant knight into under protection. Give the vengeful noble the murderer's head. I didn't have the path of the demon. Do away with the vengeful noble and give her and get her treasures. Oh my god. Alright, well, we're not doing that. That's evil. It's evil. It's chaotic, and that's lawful. We have absolutely nothing. I gain no benefits. This air. And family heirloom. And holy flail. Alright, I have to make an alignment choice that doesn't match with what I wanted. This sucks. Right. Take the repentant knight under protection. There are plenty of repentant sinners in the ranks of the Crusaders. They are heartened by the promise of a second chance. In the audience. An angel is awaiting an audience in Dresden, hoping to share the wisdom of heaven with the leader of the Crusaders. Okay, cool. Campaign. Then I have to hit skip a day. Then we go to the armies. You can recruit, so here you go. Take these archers. Scouts, champions. Do another free search. What do we got? We've got shield bearers. More shield bearers. Go for it. And then what else we got? We got sorcerers and rogues. Can't use either of these really. Alright. Oh, it won't even let me. Alright, you go over here. You go over here. Now buy the champions. And tell them to go join the force. Alright. I don't know how to respond to the part where you're losing faith in what you're doing. What is it you're trying to do, Atrocious? Let them flee. Alright. Having buried those who died from the plague, warriors search the place and find a small grave where Sir Doland Regalor, a hero of the Second Crusade, rests in peace. They take care of the grave and clean dead bodies and dirt from a small oasis nearby, and the water instantly becomes clean, clear, and sweet. This place is much loved by spirits and gods. And then we take over this fort. Well, Perseus responds. Ooh, fireball. And so much for army strength of 6. It went down easy. But wait, no, I took a wrong turn, didn't I? Wait, no. No, I didn't. This is the right one. Alright. Let them flee. The Crusaders attacked the demons at a propitious moment. Or, yeah. When they were trying to sink a stash of cold iron ingots in the nearest sand swamp. That hoard of metal would have been deadly to the beasts of the abyss, and safely ended up in Mendevian warriors' care instead. Alright, let's exit the Cree area. Yep. Go down. Save. And we'll go in this direction. Now, what have we found on the road? Okay.
Something over there. Please, be careful.
I'm glad I was useful to you. I will prove my worth.
I sense something.
I finished here. Is there more? I finished here. Is there more? I'm glad I was useful to you.
Alright, an awful lot of traps. And then cultists. Save. What are we about to face? Hail Baphomet. Hear our prayers. Accept this sacrifice, Baphomet. Curse you all. Praise be to Iomedae. It's him, the one who killed our brothers and sisters. Death to their die. Oldest rises from the stone throne and halts the sacrifice with a raised hand. The cultist holding the knife over the victim on the altar stops. Woljif is wreathed in blue flame and the demonic shadow rises up behind him. Easy now, we're all friends here. This was just a little misunderstanding. You thought you'd come across Crusaders, but they're big fans of our Lord Baphomet too. Woljif half turns to you, his right eye twitching, which you interpret as an attempt to wink discreetly. Ain't that right? Before you time out. Yeah, misunderstanding. Hell, not wordlessly. Not wordlessly. Woljif's face lights up. Right, exactly. Pilgrims of the World Loom. Meet the finest member of our big family. Hey there, Chief. Long time no see. Why don't we hold off on the sacrifice for now? We need to drink to this happy meeting, am I right? Yeah, let's do that. Tie that one on the altar up again. We'll get round to slaughtering it later. The cultists exchange looks and whispers. The chief cultist lowers his knife. If the Crescent of the Abyss says so, then welcome. Make yourselves at home in the temporary camp of the Pilgrims of the World Loom. But why did you attack our brothers? Took them for common brigands. I went to sacrifice those crusaders myself. Yeah, I wanted to sacrifice those crusaders myself. I don't know. I took them for common brigands. The chief cultist shakes his head and smooths invisible creases from his gold-embroidered cloak. Yes, our common brothers and sisters do look a little worse for wear after their long peregrinations in the world room. It's a pity that such a tragic mistake was made. But when we claim victory for our Lord, all of us shall go draped in gold. That I promise you. The cultist casts a weary glance at your weapon, but passes no remarks. It is good that the Crescent of the Abyss, our beacon in the darkness and our oracle, has resolved this misunderstanding. Relax, friends, and after, if you wish, you may join our pilgrimage. Okay. Woljif. Specifically Woljif. Woljif is waiting for you next to the altar, warily wiping the sweat from his brow. Phew! I thought I was done for. Could feel it in my tail that they were gonna kill me. If you ain't a sight for sore eyes, Chief. What am I trying to do? Even I don't know that. Alright. Well, if you don't know, then how about a suggestion? At the very least, try to get through the game from start to finish before you even try to go for the ascended godhood stuff. You don't have to make a perfect run, just go through it. The perfection can be attempted at a later date. Or go all in now. I honestly don't know everything that goes into getting godhood. From what you told me, intelligence is pretty much a clear part of it, though. Alright. Let's see what else Woljif has to say. When I heard that the gargoyles hadn't got you and that you was running to show up at Dresden now, I can't tell you how happy that made me. But that night, it all happened. I tell you, I was so scared I couldn't see straight. I wandered around wondering if my chief and the rest of the gang were lying in an open field with their eyes pecked out. Will just sighs. Even my conscience prickled a little, thinking about how I ran. But, but when you look at it from my side, what else was I supposed to do? The actual paladins were getting cut down left, right, and center. And then these pilgrims of the whirlwind tell me that Dresden's been reclaimed, that there's a new commander called Mindau. Well, I said to myself, there can't be two demon-slaying dynamos with that name. It must be you. So I cut my way through the circles around Dresden and waited for you to come out. At one point, I got so desperate I almost went right up to the city walls. But I thought better of it. Although an arrow in the skull would be a sight better than running in fear of Votil. Ol just sucks in a breath and keeps talking in a rush, like he's afraid you'll turn around and walk out. Do you know Votil? I don't either, but I remember the name because of what Brother Melrose yelled in the basement that time. I'm going to tell Hebzamira and Votil or something like that. Anyway, my shadow told me that Votil is that demon, and that I should be scared of him because he's after the moon of the abyss. But the shadow's a whole other story. But if you want to know why I haven't just come to Dresden, I need your help. It's a matter of life and death, Chief. Slow down, you're not making sense. What's going on here? Woljif lets out a sigh, or lets out a breath. Okay, I'll shut up. I mean, I won't shut up, but ask me what you want to know, and I'll tell you. What was that? That was my cunning plan, Chief. Woljif's tail is whipping back and forth, so fast it's a blur. Why are you pretending to be a cultist? Woljif raises his hands defensively. Easy there, Chief. I'm no cultist, and I didn't just ask you to play along for the fun of it. I had a reason, I swear. But it's not because I've seen you, it's not because I've seen what you're like when in a fight, and I know I've no chance against you. Why'd you run when we fought the night we fought the gargoyles? Run, me? I fought him, I did. You should have seen me. I got one right on the nose, sent his arse over a tea kettle, and it flew off. I've gotten into scrapes a fair few times before. Been caught by surprise in the dead of night more times than I can count. So that's why I leapt up quick as anything, grabbed my knives, and... well, of course I ran. I made a run for it. What else was I gonna do? I'm just a thief, a city boy. I don't go toe-to-toe with demons. Sure, I said I'd help you and all, But that was before. I didn't sign up for nighttime gargoyle attacks. What kind of an idiot takes attacks in the middle of the night? I thought war would keep more civilized hours, to be honest. Wrong again. So apologies, Chief. But I always end up on the winning side. It's just my nature. You and your lot in the camp that night did not have the look of victory about you. And it's not like I have been much help. If a gargoyle snatched me up in its claws, of course I decided to run, and run I did. I'm gonna go early. I'm not feeling so well. See you tomorrow, Zero. Alright, Atrocious, rest up. I hope you feel better. Let's see. I honestly hope that after a night's rest, you get to feel a lot better. If not, please go to the doctor. Alright. Well, with that, where do I go? Oh, right. I'll finish talking to Woljif, save, and call it a night too. What's your relationship with the Baphomet cultists? Woljif looks pensively. It's complicated. It's a story of unrequited love. Really, they love me. And all I think about is how to get away from them and save my own skin. And how did you end up with the cultists? Same way I end up anywhere. I was walking and walking, and then here I was. Oh, I should mention at this point, my shadow, you know it. Well, it started talking. At first I was so scared I thought there was someone growling behind me. But then I listened closely and it was my shadow. It only got a few words out, or I only got out a few words. But I heard the name Votio, and I learned that he's a demon, and that he wants my moon of the abyss for some reason. And then I learned which direction he was looking for me in. When I learned that, I turned around and I went the other way. I'm not an idiot. Those pilgrims of the world room clubbed me around the head and woke me up, and I woke up. And they were already dragging me to the altar. I said to them, brothers, don't drag me to the altar. I have a proposition for you, one you won't want to miss. But they paid no attention and kept dragging me. In the end, I had to show them my party piece. They saw my shadow and dropped to their knees, just like that. I fed them a line about how I can speak directly to Baphomet through it, and they lapped it right up. That's why I'm still alive. Hey, are you winning? Hey, I'm Doll. I have located Woljif. And no, I'm technically not winning. I got called back into work to work tonight, and I gotta take it for the hours. And that's pretty much it. That's how I'm doing. This is the second time you came around the end of the stream. How are you and Lady Dragoon? Lady Dragoon is resting at this point in time. Let's see. Also, I guess we're doing all right, actually. Actually, yeah, we are doing all right. It's pretty good. Let's see. Lady Dragoon would like to start a run of Pathfinder Kingmaker, and she wants it streamed. I said, sure, why not? As soon as I find a name for it. Atrocious came up with a few titles, but that's about it. I like coming in at the end. Alright. Alright, you said... What was I? Oh, yeah, yeah. Not you two are doing that. How are you, actually? Thankfully, I don't have a lot of followers on Twitch, so I can actually individually check up on people and ask. While he types the response. You said some shadow's been talking to you, is that right? Not just any shadow, my special shadow. After I spent a while running around the world room, scared out of my wits, it suddenly crept out and whispered in this distant-sounding voice, Votil North Fear Voltil. And the name was familiar because that's what Brother Melrun yelled out, and I put two and two together. This Votil was in the north, and I needed to make sure he didn't find me. Bit by bit, I got the shadow to tell me that Votil was a demon, and that he was looking for the moon of the abyss. Who knows why? By the way, I have a couple thoughts of my own about the moon. I'll tell you about them once we're out of this mess. I'm alive and I got food, so I can't complain. Alright. Good to hear. Well, you can complain. You'd be surprised who's willing to listen. But if you don't feel like complaining, that's really good. Let's see. Remind me what... No, I'm not going to be cruel like that. Just trying to make character as usual. It happens. I already showed you how indecisive I was with character creation. What do you want from me, Wolf? Alright, in a nutshell, Chief, I've got a bit of a situation here. One move and I'm a goner. The demon Votil is in the vicinity somewhere. A good man has suffered. The cultists are animals. I just want to get out of this and make Votil back off. But without you, I've got no chance. Help me. I won't forget it as long as I live. Who is Votil? All I know is that he's the demon that sent Brother Melrun to get the moon of the abyss. Now that I have the moon, Votil's after me. I'm already tired of running from him. He's gonna catch me soon. I can feel it. What part of the cult is playing in your plan? Woljif glances around, making sure you're not overheard. Do you know why they call themselves the Pilgrims of the World Room? Because they're itching to meet big-name demons like Baphomet. It's like they're on a pilgrimage. So that got me thinking, since they listen to me, we can lead them to Votil and mess with their heads a bit. Say that Baphomet's been calling him nasty names. And let the cultists fight Votil for us. It'll be a riot. Cult is helping us take out a demon. Well, what do you think? What good man are you talking about? Me, of course. Woljif folds his arms. I'm a prisoner here, you know. And I suppose there's also the other fellow, Devil, the one that's tied up. I kind of owe him one. I made a dumb mistake and now he's paying for it. Now don't get me wrong, I couldn't care less about the guy. He got himself into this mess. Except, if it wasn't for me, they maybe wouldn't have caught him in the first place. These pilgrims kept asking me, will we have long to wait for the favors of Lord Baphomet? As though just because I have my shadow I should know. What am I, some kind of demon whisperer? I just put on a kind of knowing air and I say to him, do as you have been doing and the favors will come. They took that to mean that they needed to keep cutting people up on the altar. I tried to put them off the idea, but they didn't listen. I acted like I was discussing things with my shadow, and I kept trying to hold them off, saying that the stars weren't in alignment, that raining eyeballs was a bad omen. Yeah, I'll try to finalize my character tonight. If I succeed, that's another matter. Fair enough. Right. I'd run out of ideas just before you showed up, Chief. I was already considering just letting him do it. He was a crusader after all. You know, demons would probably get him in the end either way. It's not my fault that's how they do things. It was either him or me. Wall just sighs and turns away. His tail is twitching from side to side in agitation. There is one way to get both of us out, but I can't manage it on my own. I need your help. Alright, I'll help you deal with Voltio. Walter's face lights up, and the tip of his tail dances through the air. I always knew you were a special sort, Chief. Let's go break his horns off. We need to go to a patch of scrubland by a bend in the river. It's not far, I'll show you. Nothing interesting about the place at all. But that's where I was when my shadow came out and started pushing me back all the other way. They said that Voltil would find me easily there. That he'd swoop in and tear me limb from limb as soon as I popped up. I wasn't long turning away from that place, I tell you. Scrubland by a bend in the river has been revealed. There's just one other thing. We need to round up my lackeys and send them off on an errand. While they're gone, we can free the prisoner. No point leaving him here to be bored stiff, right? Listen up, brothers, sisters, the shadow has spoken. It says that a demon will come to a secret place, a wasteland where there are almost no trees left, next to a bend in the river. We once passed by there, but we took a wrong turn and didn't find it. Alright. Glorious day. Before we set off, I say we make the sacrifice. I say let's hold off on the sacrificing. Time's a wasting and demons are busy, you know. Leave your things and go. I must meditate before such an event. And when I'm all meditated out, I'll come and summon the demon to you. Commander, a moment of your time. The young crusader cautiously gets to his feet, unable to believe that he is finally free. At last the day has come where those odious faces will no longer be looming over me. The cultists had my weapons and armor somewhere. I'll find them and then take my leave of this place forever. They're over there with the rest of the stolen stuff. I made sure they didn't go walkies in the night. I hoped you'd make it out of this somehow. Thanks to your efforts, Woljif. Go, time is of the essence. If there is a demon hunting you, better to lure him into a trap and strike first. Who are you? The crusader bows. Deval Gwynvere, at your service. Nobleman, crusader, and only surviving member of my unit. What are you planning to do now? Find my armor and weapons, find something to eat, and then leave this place as quickly as possible. The crusader looks ahead with grim determination. Perhaps I will die in the wound, but I will die with a sword in my hands, not like an animal at a slaughterhouse. And if I do make it out, I shall build a temple in Iomede's honor in my hometown. You're rich enough to build a temple if you fancy it? You were complaining that your parents didn't give you enough money. I think we have slightly different conceptions of what counts as enough money. In any case, money is no longer a concern of mine. My life and my legacy belong to the goddess who sent you and the commander to my aid. How did you end up here? The Crusader's eyes stare into the distance, solely through my own foolishness. Because of my inability to fight like a man, I thought the crusade would be the best way to make my mark on history. I dreamt of the glory, of the respect that would be otherwise denied me as the third son of a noble family. When an officer laughed at my skills and called me an ignorant interloper, how right he was. Fate has a twisted sense of humor. My more experienced comrades died in this cursed place. One after another, but I survived. There were only 5 of us left in the end. Our hubris was gone. We were jumping at every shadow, and we still weren't cautious enough. I was the only one who survived after we were attacked in the night. I should have realized what was happening when the lookout went missing. Alright then, farewell and good luck. May Iomade keep you. Alright, so we gotta help Woljif real quick. And so who to kick out? We kick out Lan. And bring in Woljif. Alright, but like I said, we're gonna save and call it a day here. Thank you all for joining me on this run of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Actually, yeah, tomorrow. And until then,